Welcome back to Little Stinkers, baby. We're just using some bad words that might even be too high for Patreon, but all good. If you heard them, congratulations.
Why would they have heard them?
No, they didn't.
I don't know. Maybe Jake hit the button early and heard you.
This isn't live.
No, that's what you get for saying I'll disappear, motherfucker.
I didn't say the words anyway, so what do I care?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what happened is Jake and John wrote a parody song about what happened in Ferguson a couple of years ago, and I don't agree with it, but...
No.
What was Ferguson? A mass shooting?
Oh, my God.
No.
Was it the pitchforks?
No.
No.
What was Ferguson?
I don't know. We're in too deep at this point.
Yeah, one of the many police killing somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's cleanse the palate with a 53 murderer, person murderer.
You say Ferguson, I'm thinking of fucking Clarissa Explains It All, little brother. That's what I'm thinking.
Who let her at this window?
A real little stinker if there ever was one.
Yeah, we'll get him on one time.
That dude's assuredly dead by now.
But
He wet the bed till he was 13 out.
that's how I wake up now. I stop drinking coffee, and as soon as my eyes open, I just start screaming slurs into my pillow. It takes the place of 3 cups of coffee, and it's much healthier for me.
Is it a memory foam pillow?
Is that why there's so much tape on your windows?
All right, Buster. Getting back to the bad boy of the hour, Andrei Chikatilo.
Which is not, you're not, at least the way you pronounce it doesn't sound like a Ukrainian surname.
Yeah, he sounds like a cute Italian fella.
Sounds
A Sicilian, an island Italian.
Yeah.
Andrei Cheeks.
Yeah, hell yeah. You need to go upstairs and get cheeks.
Oh, dude, one of the when he was describing himself, he described himself as a mistake of nature.
Wow. Pretty accurate.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's good.
That would be like a cool way to introduce yourself to people during like a team building exercise.
That's his
Have it on your business card.
That's his wrestling name.
And coming in at 5'10", straight from the experiment shack, the mistake of nature.
You said Ukraine. That was his Ukrainian surname. I thought you said slur name.
Nah, even if you fucking paid me, I couldn't think of a Ukrainian slur. Well, you said goose.
Yeah, they would use that to bust his balls when he was teaching.
You think that's all Russians, all Eastern Europeans?
I don't know, man.
Isn't Grey Goose Russian vodka?
Yeah. Oh, is that got something to do with it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they're calling us gray N-words. That's. I don't like it now. Thank God I gave up drinking.
Oh no, what's going on?
Delicious vodka, though. Oh man, I miss drinking so much. I don't want to talk about this
Did you
anymore.
drink straight vodka?
Dude, I drank straight everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Any liquor? You would drink any liquor?
Well, dude, I would go in phases. When I first started drinking straight liquor at home, somebody gave me. I was at a show one time. Somebody gave me a shot of ouzo. You know, like I think it's like Greek, like
Windex?
Yes.
I don't know. Ouzo.
Is it blue or is it green?
It's like
Sambuca?
It's like it tastes like Sambuca.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I think it's like the Greek version of that.
Okay.
So I would just keep a bottle of that in my kitchen, and every day when I got home from work, I would take at least one shot of ouzo just to chill me the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I started drinking Jameson.
Dude, Jameson's, that's dangerous.
Oh, it's so good, man.
I would just fill up the cup, no ice, just like this high, and then just
What?
yeah,
And just like sip on it straight
Yeah.
warm?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes.
play a little like
Ugh,
I play
that's
NHL,
gross.
but
it's
it's
not
on,
even good whiskey.
Oh, it's decent.
delicious,
Yeah,
man.
Is
it's,
it?
Yeah.
Ah, man, it makes me want to throw up.
Dude, when I got heavy into Jameson, we were expecting a snowstorm, and oh man, I look back on this time so fondly. Blockbuster was still open. It was the night before the blizzard, so we went out. We got all stocked up on our shit, and I got one of the big boy bottles of Jameson. Rented a bunch of DVDs. Dude, the next day, I was so fucking Jameson drunk that one of the DVDs I rented was the Michael Jackson documentary, and I was so hammered off Jameson, I called my sister to see if she wanted to come over and dance with me.
Jesus Christ.
That was the one like released like post-tom. Like how do you say it?
Posthumously?
Posthumously. Yeah, I can't say.
No, you try it again.
No. What's that rapper's name again? Yeah.
When they released
After his death.
Opulus Primary.
Post-op.
Is it? I don't even know what documentary.
This is it, right? Is that
Yes, that was it. Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Dude, what a fucking weekend. The Olympics, the Winter Olympics were on.
Did you stay up all night?
Oh, dude, I would eventually go to sleep, but
Yeah.
no rules, baby. Dude, and it was a blizzard too, so we had a few days off from work and school.
Yeah.
The next,
Okay, I remember that blizzard. Yeah.
Oh, it was lights out, man. The kids dared me at one point to take my shirt off, run outside, and do a snow angel in the front yard. And dude, I've been drinking Jameson for 2 days, so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. As soon as like my back hit the ground for the snow angel, they slammed the door shut and they locked.
Called the cops. There's a drunk guy trying to get into the house.
But man, what a time.
That's a great fucking prank.
But that's how good Jameson is. Like I associate that with those good memories.
That sounds like a Delco version of "It's a Wonderful Life."
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I had my fill of whiskey.
Clarence, instead of like convincing Clarence to jump off, like back off the bridge, I have to Narcan him. But yeah, to your question, yes, I loved drinking straight liquor. Like I got into that. Once I tasted Grey Goose, I drank that a lot straight. I like gin straight. Yeah, dude, I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah, sounds like it. They're all for me.
Yeah, like all that shit. It's I guess part of it like was the social lubricant issue, but also I just love the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
And I wanted it all the time.
I don't know. I grew out of whiskey. I used to think whiskey was like good, but it got to a point where like just taking a shot of it, like just a shot of Jameson, like I regressed. You know how like at the beginning,
Yeah.
when you first start drinking, it's like oh, you know, and then for years I was like, I can take a shot. And then eventually it happened again where I was like, ugh, like just brown though.
Yeah.
I started drinking tequila, and I think I just totally turned myself off to brown anything.
Well, I mean, there's a clear tequila too. That's like when I first started coming over here and I saw Mike with this plant. I was like, "Oh no, is that an agave plant?"
Yeah.
He's gonna
Yeah,
start
you see
making
me out here
tequila.
sucking 'em.
Done mezcal.
Why are you sucking that plant?
Yeah.
Motherfucker ate the
Call
worm
rehab.
and everything.
It's for the live stream.
Man, well, I think I'm going to crack a beer now that we're talking about
Yeah, dude,
drinking.
crack one open, man. Go for it, baby.
Woo!
But our boy, look at him.
Hey, John,
Get one
is
for
there-
Jake too.
Yeah, is there one in there for me with the one? Give me the one with the silly straw.
Jake, when you're done drinking yours, you mind if I suck your lips?
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
gotta do it on the.
Mike,
Go fuck
I'll
yourself.
breathe in your face.
All right, dude. So getting back to our homeboy Andrei Chikatilo. In June of 1982, he's continuing his murder spree. All right, and you're gonna notice a lot of these are taking place in the summertime for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Only
he's-
in years that the Olympics aren't on.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's funny you mention that because when he goes to court for the first time, for whatever reason, the shirt that they give him to wear is a button-down shirt commemorating the Olympics.
Just leftover merch.
Yes.
Like how we sell the fucking or send the T-shirts of the losing
Dude, it was
Super Bowl team.
I think it was 1986 was the Moscow Olympics. Does that sound right?
I think it was 84.
84 was L.A.
Yeah, but they used to do winter and summer in the same years
Okay.
up until like the 90s, I believe.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that would still make sense.
Yeah, that was the 1980.
80 then 84.
No, that was Lake Placid.
Oh, that's weird. It says Moscow.
Oh, maybe the Moscow was summer
God, yeah,
that
okay.
year. All right.
Summer Olympics in Moscow.
But 1982, again, like he's doing one of two things. He's either following people home, like walking with them, trying to initiate conversations, then waiting till they get to a point where he can lure them into an abandoned area to do this fucked up shit to them, or he's meeting them at train stations and doing that. He ends up walking with this 13-year-old kid named Lyubov Baryuk.
This is a boy.
This is a girl, a 13-year-old girl. He ends up luring her into the woods, stabs her 22 times. And he starts making a habit of this shit here. He starts cutting out eyes.
Oh my God, dude.
That's based upon an old Russian wives' tale, which said that the last person that the dead eyes see, that image is burned into their eyes. So he starts thinking that if his image is burned into their eyes, it's going to make it easier for him to be caught.
Okay, so this dude's gone.
He's
legit
out there.
crazy.
Yeah. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's real no good, Nick. But he starts
I'm
making.
starting to think he's a bad guy.
He really is, man.
A real jerk.
He's a real pain in the you know what. But he starts fucking cutting out eyes, and on top of that too, dude, in 1982, it's within the course of 6 months, he commits 6 murders.
God damn, that's like one of the most prolific stretches
Dog.
outside of the Fishman and Old Pickett.
Yeah, dude. So he's fucking heating up here. There's one victim where he starts doing this shit too. It's the same thing too with the sexual assaults. He'll like dry hump. He's never able to fully penetrate somebody, but he will sexually assault him. Will nut on them, and he starts. If he didn't already start already, but I know he does this with one of the victims, at least one of the victims in 1982. Is he'll start cutting out sexual organs, including uterus.
Do you know if they're dead or alive during this?
They're often alive while he's doing this.
Oh my God.
Because going back to what I said with like him knowing,
So this is like an all night torture that you're enduring, pretty much, right? Hours of this.
I wouldn't doubt that it was. I think ours is accurate.
In the experiment shack.
No, dude, this is like the experiment shack was just for that time period where he lived.
This is wherever
in that specific
he meets
area.
the people. He's not transporting people to the shack. All
He
the time,
becomes
right?
aware of these places. Although a lot of the murders occur in his hometown of Rostov. So he's aware of like these places to take people, but also he's got this traveling job all throughout the Soviet Union. So he becomes aware of all these places, and he would get criticized by superiors for taking far longer than he should have on these business trips. And part of why he was taking was so long was for scouting purposes, was to find new places, get
He's
to
just
learn the
looking
lay
for
of the land.
Place.
Right.
Yeah. He's not even like there. He's not a day late to come back because he murdered somebody. He's looking.
He's looking
the place
for places where he
in
can
the
do this
future.
shit. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And again, he's eating things that he's cutting off of people in the moment, and then doing the shit with the eyes to a lot of these people. And it's getting to the point now where they realize that they have a serial killer on their hands.
Yeah.
So in 1970,
Yeah, I mean, fucking. This is the 5th murder that you just told us about.
well, dude, there was in 1982 alone there were 6.
Yeah.
So it's on top of all the other ones.
We're starting to think something fishy's going on.
So they don't know it's him. However, they dub whoever's doing this the Forest Path killings. And the guy that's heading this investigation is a guy named Major Fetisov. And shortly after like taking over this, he realizes like he doesn't have like the resources to do all this shit on his own. So he ends up calling in this forensic pathologist named Viktor Budakov, who ends up being vital in eventually solving the case. However, this is 1983. And it goes on until, I think he's not arrested until 1992. 1992.
Wow.
So this is a lot. I'm sorry, it was 19... Fuck, when the fuck...
And he lived with his family in that town.
1990 he was caught. So from 83 to 90...
Lived in that
He
same
still
house,
has a
same
dude,
town.
he
same
still has a
family.
family the entire time.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
From
dude.
1983 to 90, they're running this investigation, and they're heading into fucking brick wall after brick wall.
And dude, every name you've said so far sounds like an NHL superstar.
Yeah, there was a Fetisov that I think played for both the Red Wings and the Devils. Well, Fetisov is one of the what do they call them? The something 5 that was a part of the Red Wings.
Oh, like the original.
It's like the Magnificent 5 or something like that.
Yeah. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. You know what? There's a phone in front of me.
Any relation?
All right. So, dude, this is especially fucked up. So, in the spring of 1984, there's a woman named Tatiana Petroska who was an old girlfriend of his. Now, he would date women, but it was always the same shit. They would eventually leave after he couldn't get it up.
Yeah, up to a year and a half after.
Yes. So he...
You can only put up that shit for so long. Like a year and a half of not getting fucked by your boyfriend.
Dude, he contacted this old girlfriend, and he made plans to go hang out in the woods. All right. Now, an especially fucked up aspect of this is that the woman agreed to bring along her 10-year-old daughter, Svetlana. So they're having a fucking picnic in the woods, and they tell the kid to go off to play. And while the kid's off playing, he starts his bullshit with Tatiana.
Trying to rub up on her?
Rub up on her and eventually fucking stabbing and killing her. Eventually, the little...
Knowing the kid's going to come back.
Yes. The kid comes back. She sees him naked and covered in blood. She's 10, so, I mean, she's old enough to recognize, like, I need to get the fuck out of here. She fucking takes off running. She nearly gets away, but he gets her before she can leave the woods, and he cuts her head off.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ, this guy. It's fucked up, man. This is the first person that he knows, like...
Yeah, that he killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
this is
continue at all?
No, man. From there, it's
that's
just
very different to call somebody up.
It's very,
like
dude,
planning it.
To me, that just reeks of like she just popped in his head one day and he remembered feeling emasculated.
Yeah.
And like, all right, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna show her how fucking masculine I am now by fucking killing her in the field after I can't get a boner. But dude, at this point, there have been 19 murders that they've attributed to this one guy, this fucking forest path killer. And he has left jizz at numerous scenes. So they're able to determine that he was... I think through the jizz, they determined that he was type AB. So you can analyze...
They can find your blood from jizz?
Dude, well, they can analyze...
I ain't know they were out here finding blood in my jizz.
Listen, you can tell a person's blood type through jizz and saliva.
Really?
You can.
Damn.
Now, there are people called non-secretors, which is a very, very, very small percentage of the population, which have different types of fucking jizz and saliva and blood. Look, he was one of these people who's a non-secretor.
What?
Because of that fucking reason. All right, so they were able to arrest him.
But I mean, like, narrowing down the blood type of the killer, they couldn't narrow it down to that many.
Well, they had a
people,
list.
Right?
They had a list. I think it was comprised of maybe a couple hundred people, who they said, all right, the killer is probably within this group. So if you're narrowing it down to a blood type or a jizz type or a saliva fucking type, you can significantly narrow that down.
Yeah. How many is there? A, B, O, and AB. Well, and then 2 of each. So it's like divides it by 8. Pretty much, right?
We'll go with that. But I mean, dropping it by that much is considerable.
In a town that small.
Right,
and
yeah.
The population
yeah.
is small. Wow, I never fucking even thought of that.
I didn't either, man.
I've watched a lot of SVU. This has never come up.
They don't cover near as much jizz stuff as they should.
Yeah.
The original 6 is what they were called, Mike.
Thank you, Jake.
That was impressive, the blood stuff. I'm like, I need to provide something here.
There's 6 guys on the ice?
No, it was the original 6.
Oh, there's 5
team.
skaters and then the goalie.
Okay.
Well, the original 6 was referenced to the teams.
Oh, yeah.
Not the players.
Oh, so I got the... I
got the wrong answer,
God
too, dickhead.
damn it. Damn it.
Oh,
what are you
God.
talking about?
Here, talk for a minute and I'll fucking look
gladly. So, John.
You ever think about taking a walk right now?
Yeah. Every day. That's insane.
What did you
I just searched
put in the
original. I wrote original 6.
All right, the Russian 5.
Oh, the Russian 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mike,
Yeah.
that was fast as shit.
I wasn't around when the Russian 5 were.
You brought it
were
up.
they?
Are you a hockey guy?
Oh, you were, dude.
Were they in the 90s?
They all won the cup with
like
when
Dad
they
took
beat the Flyers in 1997. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Vladimir Konstantinov ended up getting fucked up. Like it was like
That's
days after.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was really fucked up.
What do you mean?
I remember crying.
They had they were partying after beating the Flyers for the Stanley Cup in the summer of '97.
Yeah.
The limo driver was fucked up, and he had a bunch of the players in the limo, and he ended up getting in a vicious accident. And one of the star players, Vladimir Konstantinov, one of the greatest players, he was so fucked up that like he can walk now, but it's with assistance.
Did the other guys play ever again?
I don't remember.
Is that limo driver still working?
He went
He was your Uber driver tonight.
Yeah.
Thinking about throwing somebody a party.
But I'm not sure if anybody died. But Konstantinov is the one that comes to mind the most, considering like how good of a player he was.
They were a great team.
That's crazy.
Dude, it was so fucking sad because
Is there a 30 for 30 on this? I never heard of this.
I'm sure. And then there has to be. There's definitely, I haven't seen it, but I know there's a Russian 5 documentary.
There's a drunk driving PSA video on this.
Yeah, they put him in the box for 10 years. They gave him a game misconduct, man. So he paid for it.
You take 5 and think about what you did.
But dude, fucking Andrei Chikatilo, he ends up getting busted, and they are able to like, even though they don't have this figure, they don't have the fucking science to recognize yet that like, okay, like non-secretors might have their jizz might dictate something other than what their blood does.
You're right.
So it isn't until I think the year before he ends up getting caught. Actually, dude, it might be the year after they do this analysis. They're able to figure out like, oh shit, people can have different fucking types.
That science wasn't even caught up.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, and plus you have to think of it too in regards to the flow of information in a communist country.
Yeah, true.
Like they would be the last fucking ones to get it.
Dude, they didn't even know what 69ing was yet.
Yeah.
So they're not aware of this yet, but they do know that he's constantly around all these fucking weird circumstances, and he's fucking chicks are starting to say he's doing weird shit. So people are aware of him. And then also at this time, he gets accused of a car engine theft because he has some kind of gig like delivering cars or some shit, and one of the cars that he's tasked with delivering doesn't have the engine in it. So his boss files charges claiming that he stole it. He probably did. He goes apeshit because he hates being charged with accused of stealing shit.
Dude hates
even though he's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the police are able, even though they suspect him as being a person of interest in the murders, any inkling they have is circumstantial. They have no evidence. They technically have evidence with the jizz, but they can't link it to him yet. Yeah. Because he's got his blood is A, but the semen from 6 of the victims is AB.
Okay.
All right. They're able to hold him for 10 days in the hope that they can find out more shit on that. They're not able to, and he ends up getting adjudicated for property theft, and he gets 3 months for that.
I'm sure they can take blood while he's in jail to test him.
They eventually do end up getting jizz from him.
How did they get jizz from you?
They jerk him off, or make him jerk off, I guess.
Well, his version of it.
They send like a sexy guard past. They make Bugs Bunny dress up like a lady.
Wasn't there another instance of this? Of somebody getting their jizz, or like the cops got a hold of it while they were in jail?
I don't remember.
I feel like
there has to be, because I imagine any kind of sex crime, now that this is what happens, like you can't just rely upon blood type. Like if there's any kind of discrepancy, they'll be like, all right, we need some fucking jizz too.
And is he cooperating too? Because like, was he scooping it into the vial for them, or
he comes on the guard's belly and then he puts it in there. But he complies, and like he's at this point, he realizes he might be getting a little bit fucking messy with his approach.
A little too close to the sun.
So he does fucking 3 months. He lays low from the end of 1980. He's released in December of 1984. He lays low until summer of 1985.
Not that long of a break.
No, and in August of 1985, he starts his fucking train station bullshit again. He approaches an 18-year-old woman there. He's able to gain her trust, able to get her to leave with him to go to a second location, which is almost always the woods. He strangles her and he stabs her 38 times.
Oof.
Jesus Christ.
So with all this shit happening,
So many fucking stabs, dude.
that is a lot.
Like
that involves breaks. Like, really? Yeah.
He's got a Gatorade bottle right above her head.
the guy's a fucking athlete.
Glacier. We found this bottle of Glacier Freeze at the scene.
But by November of 1985, there's 29 detectives working the case.
Oh my God.
And there's a considerable amount of homophobia running rampant throughout the Soviet Union and also throughout any kind of organization. So
State-funded homophobia.
Yes. So they're focusing on sex offenders and gay men. Because
Let's open it up to everybody.
dog, they're of the mindset that homosexuality is a perversion and having that repressed would be enough to get somebody to do this. So they're fucking way off base on this.
Yeah.
They're really just grasping at straws here.
Have there been a male victim yet?
There have, yeah.
Okay.
And he eventually ends up getting more male victims towards the end. I think his last victim, no, I think that was a woman. So I apologize. But he ends up getting more male victims as he goes along. It's almost exclusively young women and female children at first, but then I don't think there was anything related to any kind of like conscious decision to do that. It was just they presented themselves, and he's like, okay, I can take advantage of this.
Was
person.
he rubbing up on the males?
That's a good question. I don't know, dude. Yeah, that's something I'll have to find out. But going back to like the guy that was initially brought on, the forensic analyst, Viktor Burakov, he contacts a psychiatrist named Alexander Bukhanovsky. So this guy ends up really turning shit in the fucking investigators' favor and giving them an educated element that they didn't have before. So this guy, he treats this kind of behavior more of a sickness as opposed to like a moral deficiency, which is what they needed to view this from at this point, because they're not getting anywhere just saying, all right, this guy's fucking evil and he's doing this just because he's fucked up. This guy eventually puts together a list of traits. It's like a profile of all the traits that this guy probably has, dude. And he fucking nails it. He's between 45 and 50 years old. He's had significant childhood trauma. He's able to say that he's impotent. He says that the knife is symbolic of his penis doesn't work. The reason why
Jesus Christ.
He's like, the reason why he stabs them so many times is because he views the knife as his penis, and the knife stabbing somebody 30 times symbolizes longevity and stamina.
30 pumps in.
Which is he's still nutting early with a knife.
Wow.
Dude, that is wild. This guy.
Dude, he fucking nails
Just like
it.
strapped it on.
Yeah, this guy's fucking great.
He is, dude. And if 1986, all right, he continues to murder in 1986. 1987, there's 3 murders. In 1988, there's 3 murders. And during this time, he's still doing all the fucked up shit where he's
Does
like...
that guy know that there's somebody on his case? Like, that this guy is
He
getting
doesn't
close?
yet.
Okay.
Because information is extremely limited for the next few years. He's engaging in more and more cannibalism. He's biting more and more people fucking noses off, their fucking tongues.
Oh, my God.
Like all this...
He's biting the noses and tongues off?
Yes. And he would eat some of them.
Oof.
In February 28th, 1989, there's a victim named Tatiana Rizhova. And what's significant about...
Let's get some new first names.
We got a ton
over
of Tatianas,
in
man.
Eastern
This
Europe.
motherfucker's got something for
Starting to feel like
Tatiana.
this is just like
damn.
Yeah.
a weird thing you have against Russian women. You just call them all Tatiana.
Excuse me. What is your name? Gert. Never mind.
Every Tatiana in like mass media has been hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a hot name.
I
Yeah,
wonder
you,
if
you can't be a porker and be a Tatiana.
Yeah.
One thing he does with this woman that's significant is that he ends up luring her to his daughter's apartment, which isn't being used right now. He knows his daughter is away, so he takes this woman, Tatiana, to the apartment for the purpose of sex. Again, can't perform, gets her in there, goes through his normal rub and nut, and then he ends up stabbing her to death. So this girl's 16. He stabs her to death in the fucking apartment. On top of that, too, the apartment's in his name.
On top of that, it's all white alpaca carpeting. He's only got 1 week to clean this mess up.
Dude, so he ends up dismembering her with a fucking kitchen knife.
Oh my god.
He gets a sled and he gets a tarp. He dismembers her. He loads her up into the tarp, bundles it all up, and drags it out of the apartment on the sled. He's walking through the fucking through the neighborhood, dragging the sled.
Is there snow on the ground, or is it scraping?
Yeah, well, it's February.
Concrete.
It's
Okay.
February.
Just picture fucking 2 red rails sparking along fucking.
Just seeing the scratch marks along this.
Like a hand just hanging. Yeah, as it's vibrating.
This guy's getting fucking sloppy.
And on a funny note, one thing that ends up happening as he's dragging this sled through town, he said at one point a stranger just creeps up next to him, grabs another part of the handle and starts dragging it with him to help him get it across the street.
Dude.
Without saying a word.
Good Samaritan, man. No good deed goes unpunished.
Yes.
You mean an accomplice?
Yeah.
He was sentenced to life in prison and was shot in the head.
That's wild.
Crazy.
That was just him when he was recounting these murders when he was called.
Yeah.
He recounted that.
Yeah.
And
All right.
you'll never
So at
believe.
this point, like Rocky IV had already been out. Like he saw the if I can change, you can change. Did nothing to him.
I don't know, dude. I mean, this is still communist Russia, so they probably just got Rocky IV. But one thing that changes things, which ends up helping the investigation, is I think it was 1990. There was something called Glasnost, which was the introduction of transparency within the media.
Okay.
So the leader, who was the general secretary of the Communist Party at the time, Mikhail Gorbachev, he was kind of restructuring things and trying to make them a more progressive union. So in having that kind of transparency, the press was allowed to report on more. They were able to like get access to more things, and as a result, this became the first big news story with this kind of transparency within the press.
Yeah.
I mean, because this was just like, there was nothing holding them back at this time.
Right.
And he would read this shit too. And at this point, it doesn't take long before they're really like on his trail. Like at this point, the investigation's in full swing, and because they now have the aid of the press, they're allocating more resources toward it, because the pressure is also being put on them by the public. Because the public is entirely aware now of the extent of just how fucked up this problem is. Mm-hmm. So now, all throughout the Soviet Union, there's a total of 350 cops, like in plain clothes, looking out for just dudes exhibiting weird behavior at fucking train stations.
God damn, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty concentrated area to where his hometown is?
It's
Or is
scattered. It's primarily there, but it is scattered throughout the Soviet Union.
Okay.
Now, in October of 1990, after this like huge push to have more cops available to look out for this shit, they end up finding 2 bodies, and they're both 16-year-old boys. So even though like all these people are doing this shit, this stuff's still happening. Now, November 6, 1990, with all this attention now on the case and so many people attuned to the fact that there's a serial killer and he's going after these specific people, people are on the lookout for this shit. So on November 6, 1990, one of the cops that's hanging out at one of the rail stations sees Andrei Chikatilo wandering up to a well by the rail station. He's drinking water out of it, and he's trying to like he's washing his face, and he's got blood on his cheek. He's got gray stains on his body. So like this motherfucker has clearly been up to shit.
Yeah.
Now there's a field close by to the station, and they said people would usually go into that field to forage for mushrooms, but he wasn't dressed in mushroom foraging gear.
Yeah.
And also he had a fucking a bag which didn't have any mushroom foraging shit in it. Now I forgot to mention this. The time where he got popped,
What kind of tools do you need to pick a mushroom from the ground?
fucking shovel maybe.
He's like, "Oh, this is just a bowling ball. It's a severed head in a bag."
Yeah, cool case, huh? I got it from Spencer's. You heard of Spencer's?
Yeah.
Dude, when he got arrested the first time, when they held him for the 10 days, it was because, I forgot to mention this, it was because he was getting his dick sucked by a prostitute. They caught him doing it when they were on the lookout for like weird shit happening with guys like trying to proposition women.
He can't get a hard bird. He's still paying
Dog,
prostitutes to suck it.
I mean, my God, man.
Wow.
But
Guy's
dude,
dedicated.
he is, man. I'll give him that. But when they caught him getting his dick sucked by this prostitute and they busted him, he had a bag with him. And they're like, all right, dude, what's in the fucking bag? He opens it. He's got a fucking knife, rope, and Vaseline.
My God. And they said, "Yep, that checks out."
It checks out. So they held him initially for getting his dick sucked in public, and then they were able to hold him for. Typically, that would just be an arrest, and then I guess they just give you like a fucking ticket or some shit like that.
Slap you on the butt, send you on out.
But because he had also been accused of theft, that got brought to the forefront. Whereas everything was so backlogged, without that initial blowjob, that probably would have never seen the light of day.
Yeah.
But because they had him, and because they thought he might be to blame for all these murders, they were able to check the paperwork and see that, like, oh, okay, he also has this charge, so this will buy us some time.
Yeah.
But that's going back to the first charge. They also noticed, too, when he's washing his face in this well, that his finger's been bitten bad enough as to where a portion of the skin's broken off, and it's broken.
Oh, damn.
So whoever he attacked bit his finger that bad.
Yeah. Good. Shout out to whoever that was. One last fucking chomp for the end of the road.
I believe it was this lady, too. I would have to go back and double check. But there was a lady who he victimized who told him when it became apparent that he was overpowering him. She said that my boyfriend, who is named Bars, is going to fucking find you and kill you. And
Damn,
the
that's
one...
some fucking hood rat shit going
It
down
was.
saying that
And
shit.
one day in court later on, a guy who had bars written across his knuckles was in court.
No way.
So her man, yeah.
Damn.
And that lady he killed her.
Yeah, he did. That might have been the one who bit his finger.
There was nobody that got away, right?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody lived to
the
tell.
tale.
Yeah. So at this point, all this shit happens. They're putting all these things together, but they don't technically have a reason to arrest him, and I don't understand like why they couldn't just figure something out.
Yeah.
Like plant a gun on him. Like this is probably your
Yeah,
guy.
dude, you guys fucking plan
It's the Soviet
shit
Union,
all
baby.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for planting shit on people. I say that constantly, man. If you think they did something, man, figure it out later. You know? But they're more aware of him. They get his information. They recognize his name from being in the initial pool of people who were originally questioned in potentially being the Forest Path killer. And through this, they're able to look into his employment records. They contact the schools that he worked for, and at that point, the schools are like, honestly, we let him go because he was doing weird shit with the kids.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, this checks off shit that fucking Dr. Bukanovsky put on the fucking profile.
Yeah, we had to let him go
Yikes.
because he couldn't get hard.
He couldn't get hard for our kids. If you're going to fuck our kids, you better fuck them.
He couldn't get hard, so we just showed a movie.
Yeah, at first we thought he drank a lot, and then we realized he couldn't get his dick hard.
Dude, that's got to be so scary as a kid. Where you're like, what the fuck is he doing? He's waddling out of the room. He comes back with the cart. Pops in fucking Homeward Bound for 2 hours. So they check out his school employment record, but also they check out when he was a supply clerk. They see that he traveled around to all these fucking places. So they're checking his travel logs with work and seeing like, okay, what
everything
happened
matches
during
up.
this fucking time? November 14th, 1990. They're trailing him again. They see him constantly interacting with ladies and children at fucking train stations.
Now they have eyes on him.
Like 24/7.
Yeah.
So they're watching him. They're just waiting for him to do something that's technically illegal.
And he doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And they're watching him bounce from person to person.
Doing the fucking pickup artist shit.
Doing this shit.
Yeah.
And this is November 14th. It isn't until November 20th that they're able to arrest him because there's a beer stand in a park. And he goes...
And all the cops had to go get a fucking pint together.
But, dude, at this fucking beer stand, a kid comes up, and he propositions the kid for sex.
Whoa.
And it's hearing, like, this proposition for sex is what ends up getting him arrested.
And that seems like something he'd never done before, right? Has he lured anybody like that?
My feeling is...
We did have the one prostitute.
He did, but my feeling on this is I don't know if it was an explicit proposition. I think maybe one of the cops was just like, "Fuck it, I heard this.
Mm-hmm.
Enough, enough.
Hearsay.
Like we're gonna fucking get him on something." So, dude, they get him, they arrest him, and he's not confessing. Although, when they have him in questioning, he starts writing out all these fucking long, drawn out letters. They're trying to wait it out, and again, like they can only hold him for 10 days on this. He's writing all these long, fucking drawn-out letters, and he's even flat out telling them, like, I'll confess to something tomorrow. So they're, like, waiting it out. They're fucking waiting it out. They get to the 9th day. They realize he's on the verge of being set free. The doctor, Alexander Bukanovsky, comes to him and he says, look, if you let me in there to speak with him, I am bound by confidentiality because I'm a doctor and not a cop to not tell you what he says. However, I may be able to convince him to admit to you, and I just want to fucking get him talking.
Is that really the case with the Hippocratic Oath? You're
I
not
don't
allowed
know.
to fucking say murder?
Well, dude, unless they're in unless they're going to hurt themselves or somebody else.
Well, yeah, like it
You
hasn't
can't say
happened
shit.
yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is
If
it
they-
the same with a priest?
You have to
think it
suck
is.
his dick, and then he'll keep his mouth shut.
You nasty Mike.
But, within 2 hours of going into this fucking room with fucking Andrei Chikatilo, he starts fucking crying his heart out.
Singing like a bird?
So what he does, the trick he uses, it's not even a trick because, like, I mean, this guy has proved this. This guy has worked with sex offenders and people that he views as possessing all the traits necessary to eventually become a serial killer. So he's not going in there to try and trick him. He just knows how dangerous he is to society.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I'll fucking take one for the team here. This is a guy who, if he's a patient under my care, like I care about him. However, he also has to be away from people and he has to be treated as such. Within 2 hours, he gets him fucking talking because he convinces him that it's a sickness and it's not just a moral deficiency where he's just choosing to kill people. He strikes the right chord with him and gets Chikatilo to start fucking admitting to all this shit. Now, so this was what did I say this was? 1990?
90?
It was in 1988 where they became aware of the fact that jizz and saliva made to be a different type of blood. So now they know. It's like, okay, even though we had two different pairings, like now it's like it's the same person.
Yeah.
So that could be a possibility. During this time, after talking to Dr. Bukanovsky, he admits to 34 of the 36 murders that he's charged with.
Is he still holding two close to his vest?
He eventually, I think he admits to everything that he can remember. Because during the course of this, even though he's charged with 36...
Imagine murdering so many people you forget about someone.
Yeah, dude.
And I think that was the case here. Dude,
Yeah, it's possible.
Dude, he admits to 22 more murders. So that's a total of 56.
And he has basically all their eyes, too, right?
He stopped at a certain point because he
Okay.
said that he stopped believing that wives' tale.
Okay.
But
Smartened up.
Yeah.
almost all of the earlier victims, unfortunately, had their fucking eyes stabbed or cut out.
And do you know what he did with them? Did he like leave them next to the body? Did he fucking put them in a jar at home?
it was very fucked up. He took most of them to Lens Crafters and had them fitted for glasses too. I don't know how they didn't call the cops then, dude. But again, it's Soviet Russia, so
What's the pupillary distance? Adjustable.
dude, just imagine like the time just puts that fucking machine in front of your eyes and you're just like.
Just leave it there for the next guy.
But he can
You turn around like, what did this thing do to me?
Yeah. Okay. Like, can you read the letters? And they're just like, I. Yeah. What else?
All right, can you cover your right eye? My right eye or his left eye? Or his right eye? But he confesses to 22 more, and eventually he's charged with 53 of the 56 murders that he confesses to.
The other three, they're like, we're sorry, we can't do anything for these.
Well, I think there were a couple that he was initially charged with that he was just like, I just didn't do that.
Yeah.
And he admitted to so many that I think they were like, he's probably
We
telling the
believe
truth.
you. Yeah.
And one of the things,
You've earned our trust.
yes, dude, one of the ways that they enticed him to keep talking was to take him to the crime scene so that he could accurately reenact what happened.
So that gave him the thrill of revisiting.
Yeah, he got as close to a boner as he could probably get from that shit. And during this time, there's a state-directed psychiatrist named Dr. Kachenko who meets with him, and he diagnoses him with borderline personality disorder. And he says a lot of the behavior that he exhibits can be attributed to brain bruising that he experienced as a baby.
Okay. Is that
I think they're
related to his condition at birth?
I don't know. I think my interpretation of that is he might be relating it to abuse.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Because he
worded
was
as
getting
shit.
his ass beat by his mommy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And initially they had tried for an insanity defense, but this guy, Dr. Kachenko, said like he's not insane. Like he's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he's aware of like what the fuck he's doing. April 14th, 1992 is the first day of the trial. And they have a cage set up in the fucking courtroom.
For him to be stored in?
He's in the cage, and the only reason why he's in the cage, they're not worried about like him acting out toward people.
But fucking
50 people. 50
Yeah, like all their families.
Silence of the Lambs had just
Yeah.
been released.
Yeah, dude. He technically is the Russian
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter.
But it was so fucking bars didn't get at him.
Yeah, all these people in the courtroom were fucking screaming
Yeah,
at
it
him
was
the whole time.
100 fucking relatives of dead
Yep.
people.
They borrowed the Pope mobile to bring him.
If there's black smoke, they don't have a verdict yet.
Wow. Okay. I'd like. Well, no.
I'll show you pictures when we're done, and I also have these up on the video too.
Yeah.
But it's pretty fucked up. And
Has that ever
he's-
been a thing before?
dude, it's funny you bring that up. The only time I've ever seen that was in a TV show. Remember the Nightmare on Elm Street TV show?
No. But
What
that
the
movie.
Freddy's Nightmares. It was called Freddy's Nightmares. It was kind of lame, but the very first episode did scare me because they show Freddy's backstory where he wasn't burned alive like it was depicted in the movies. He was actually arrested. I think he was arrested and then he was let off in a technicality and then burned alive. But dude, they show him in Freddy's Nightmares in the pilot episode. He's in court and like he's, I believe, in a cage. He's at least shackled. But I think he's in a cage. So that's the only time I've
Wow.
ever seen the fucking court cage.
Maybe like there's been a magician at some point. They brought a cage to the court. You know, maybe they didn't have a permit, and then they
Yeah,
just
if
sort of-
Copperfield was
yeah.
being tried.
Your Honor, if I can get out of this in 5 minutes, I don't know.
Yeah, he puts the copper in Copperfield, John. All right, we're almost done. But dude, what the fuck? The judge, I think it's pronounced Akubzhanov. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
I'm doing great with these names.
Thank you, man. I'm really
Yeah.
trying. I didn't go through a lot of the victims' names because it just would have been a fucking nightmare
Yeah.
trying to put all this shit
You
together.
stick with the Tatiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's fucking, I'm sorry, victim families, but everybody's Tatiana for the purpose of this podcast. But Judge Akubzhanov, I think is how it's pronounced. He's screaming at him screaming at Andrei Chikatilo throughout the proceedings.
That seems like a mistrial.
Dude.
Yeah.
It would under normal circumstances, and even like Chikatilo's attorney he moves for mistrial numerous times because of this. Because during the trial, the fucking judge tells him to shut the fuck up. He asks him why he didn't consider at any point killing himself.
Whoa.
Damn.
Judge fucking rules.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's like the John Taffer of judges.
This murder scene's a friggin' disgrace. Shut it down. But Chikatilo, like this riles Chikatilo up because like when he first gets there, there's video. You see him being led into the cage and like he's shaking and he looks like he's on the verge of tears because people are fucking fuming at him. And
yeah,
there's times
they're pissed at you, dude.
Yeah.
He's so mad at me.
One day he brings in a plate of lemon bars for everybody to try to like smooth things over, but people aren't buying it. But dude, at a certain point during the trial, he hits his stride and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna ham it up." So, I think what exacerbates the issue is when the judge starts yelling at him and is clearly partial to getting a conviction. So he's like, "Fuck it." So they're trying. A big part of the prosecution's case was that these crimes were sexually motivated. And when they're hammering home this point in court, Chikatilo jumps up, takes his dick out, and says, "What could I possibly do with this useless thing?"
Oh my god. Jesus Christ, dude. Like the dude
And he's in a
fucking
cage.
He's in a cage.
They can't throw a blanket on him.
Yeah. Cover that thing
They
up.
just throw like a bed sheet over the cage.
Dude, at another point during the court proceedings, like he does that shit where it's like he's clearly making sense of what's happening, but then there's other part during the court proceedings where he's just yelling out insane shit. At one point in the trial, he jumps up out of nowhere and just screams, "I'm pregnant."
Damn, dude. Fuck. Why has he got to do all his stinker stuff after?
That's what I'm saying, dog.
Fucking, yeah, reverse stinker.
Yeah, he was just totally evil up to this fucking
Yeah,
point, but then
now
he gets
it's
to the
fucking-
court and it's just a total fucking ham.
Damn it. Starting to like this guy.
Oh, dude, wait till you hear his last words. But
Did he scream that I've never had a boner at all during the trial?
I think what
Like,
could
while
I
he was-
possibly do with this useless thing was the
Yeah.
closest we came to that.
It
So
don't
the
fucking work. My fucking dick don't work.
My dick don't work so bad. How bad don't it work? That it could file for unemployment. Oh! I got soft dick. All right, October 14th, 1992. You want soft dick? I got soft dick. That's Andrew Soft Dick.
Andrew Clay dick.
So on October 14th, 1992, he's sentenced to death after being convicted of 52 of 53 murders. And there is an appeals process, but on February 14th, 1994, the execution's carried out. He's led from a cell to a padded room where they do the execution.
That's Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So on Valentine's Day, 1994.
This is perfect. My dick don't work.
Oh, dude, I wrote it down.
Did he pick Valentine's Day? They're like, all right, pick a day, any day this week. And he's like, Valentine's Day. What's the point?
Yeah, how funny would it be if they had Baby Cupid be the one to shoot him in the back of the head?
The smallest, fattest fucking Ukrainian kid.
I wrote this down because I didn't want to forget it. But they put the gun to his head and they ask him if he's got any last words before they do it. And his last words, do you want to take a guess?
It don't work.
My fucking dick don't work.
Stupid dick.
I don't know. All I got on my brain is soft bird and soft comes.
His last words were, "Don't blow my brains out. The Japanese want to buy them."
Fuck. Oh, man. What does that even mean?
I don't know, man. And then they shot his ass in the back of the head. So rest in peace, you piece of shit. Andrei
Yeah, you
Chikatilo,
fucking piece of shit.
dead at 57, man.
Jesus Christ. That's another record breaker for us.
Oh, no doubt, man. I don't know that
Hopefully
we'll
the-
ever surpass him because
Yeah, hopefully not.
52 convictions.
Do you think
For
if
murder.
you were a family member and of a victim, of the only victim that they didn't get tried for, you know what I mean? Like, weren't found guilty of, do you think you would feel left out?
Yeah, I imagine. I feel
Right?
pretty
Wouldn't that
bad.
rub
Yeah.
you the wrong way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find out why that. What happened with the one? Or maybe he just flat out. I don't know, because all of the no, I was about to say it's circumstantial evidence, but then I guess when they figured out that the jizz can match up to
Yeah.
him, they got him on all the jizz crimes.
Right, yeah, but that wasn't necessarily every single one.
Yeah, so I wonder if maybe that
I
was
wonder
like.
if one of the ones he didn't get charged for was Bars' girlfriend. They're like, come on, you see that guy? Like, can we please? Yeah, I didn't jizz on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that could have definitely.
Yeah, I
been a
killed everybody's
possibility.
girl except for Bars. That
Yeah,
guy is
he looks
fucking-
pretty tough.
Eee.
I forget what bars means. I think it means like animal or something like that.
Damn.
Let me look that up real quick. But it was
Had
something cool.
fucking
It's not just like
tattooed on
bars
his
for the sake of
hands.
bars.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like a Russian rapper.
Ukrainian Bars. What if they gave you the option of like, all right, yeah, we can try him for these 52 murders, or we can continue
Yeah, I
and
don't
try to
fucking
get
know,
the
man.
53rd. And it was like, would you rather you just be shot in the head next week, or do you want us to keep trying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
and
yeah, in
always
that
confuses
case,
me. It's like
put him down tomorrow.
the one that you can get him down quickest with, I feel like, is like, 'cause
Right.
if it's one murder, essentially,
If it's going to be death.
yeah.
If it was not, if it was just for jail time, I'd feel like I'd want to be vindicated and like, I don't know.
I wonder if he had any like friends too who were like creeps like him, because like you said at the Piggy Palace, that guy, like, he was in talks with the guy from Seattle. You had said, so like I wonder if like he had somebody too that like in that area who like there wasn't like a dark web back then, but like somebody he's like
Yeah, I get what
confiding
you're saying,
in.
man.
And they're like, hey, can you take a couple for me? Like, since you're going down, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like something like that. I don't know. 'Cause
I
that's
don't think that's the case.
like, because like that's beyond a hobby. You know what I mean? Like 56, you said, or 52 were, yeah.
52 convictions.
Like,
That's yeah.
That's a healthy number.
yeah. I mean, doing that, a full-time job and a family, I mean, that's impressive.
I don't know.
That is a second job.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Man, how checked out does your wife have to be to not know that you killed 52?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's not even distracted by the dick.
When I take these eyes out, the whole room goes dark.
Dude, just imagine, like, you're laying pipe so hard that you walk in the house covered in blood and your wife doesn't even question it. You just get right to bed and just start busting cheeks out. You got grass and blood and jizz already in the bed.
I'm gonna finger so much cum into you, girl.
God damn, man. It's so sad that people can be that lonely where you'll tolerate being cum shoveled.
Yeah, because you said, so this, his wife, it was like the one wife, right? The one who was, who also you said was unclappable,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah, that was his only
It was his only marriage.
He
Yeah.
had children
but I mean,
with.
two kids.
He had at least one grandchild, too.
Really?
And apparently
What?
he was a very good grandfather.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's give him a second chance then.
Dude, what if when he got to court, like, he tried giving them all a Werther's original?
But you take off the wrapper, they're just nipples. Thanks, Grandpa, for this eyeball.
Yeah, wasn't he? He was murdering while he was a grandpa then, right?
Yeah.
He had one grandchild
Yeah.
while he was alive.
Yes.
Yeah. What a piece of fucking shit.
God damn, man.
Wish they brought him back to life so I could fuck him up.
People are going to be put on notice when we find Manson, dude.
Oh, yeah. We're coming for you, Charles.
You just fucking wait, pal.
You piece of shit.
You think you're insecure about being short now? Wait till we
Wait till two 5'10" kings roll up on your ass, dude.
It'll look like fucking Twin Towers, baby.
We're gonna fucking Eiffel Tower you to death, pussy.
What do you want to say to OJ? Cheers for winning a party and eat wings with you, buddy.
Yeah, OJ. Yeah, fucking,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
pick up the tab, buddy. Fucking chill.
But man, we're gonna fucking
We're
spit
gonna
roast
find that
you, dude.
killer, OJ.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. I'm not afraid to go to L.A. and look for him.
All right, boys.
Well,
Another fun
that was-
evening as usual.
Yeah, that was. I think we said after last week, Aaron Hernandez was a bit of an uplifting week,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
he brought us right back,
Yeah, it's
right
it's
back
hard,
into
man.
it.
I want to thank everybody for making all these suggestions because virtually every stinker I think I've picked since from Mad Sam to Stefano on has been mentioned from one of the people who watch and listen to Little Stinkers.
Had you known about this guy before? Or
I was
he-
aware of him, but
Yeah.
you know, I didn't know the extent of like what he did, and I had no idea he was this prolific.
Yeah, I don't fucking like him.
Yeah, they're just a real, just somebody you don't want to be neighbor to.
Nope.
It's a real no good Nick. Put him in the same category as Jake. Just real trouble.
Oh,
Thank
Jake,
you.
put it away, for
Thank
Christ's
you.
sake.
Jake, you ever have a neighbor you thought was a murderer?
No, I did have a neighbor that was like raided by the FBI.
Whoa, for what?
Yeah, just illegal firearms and then like I think violating parole.
Wow.
Like this person definitely, if they're still alive and not in jail, they definitely like stormed the Capitol,
Yeah.
like for sure.
Yeah.
But I remember they used to have this giant conversion van that they like. His parents lived in the house, and he was like probably 40 years old living in this van.
Whoa.
And it was like him and this huge Rottweiler that was adorable, the dog. But like he had all these guns and would just like shoot them in his backyard. And then I remember one time I was in my backyard with the dog Reggie, the one that got pepper sprayed that I told you about. And I remember like there were cops coming from like 3 houses. Like this guy lived on the end of the street, and they were coming from 3 houses like past mine north through the backyards to get to this guy's house.
You saw that with your own eyes.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
so
crazy.
exciting.
Yeah, and then it was like at that point they're like, get in the house. We just got in the
Yeah.
house and just try to look out from the front window and
A.
yeah, crazy.
What about you, Johnny?
What was the question?
Any bad boy neighbors?
Not like that. No. We had some in college. There were some guys that lived around the corner that were like
Bad
whatever
news.
the underlings of like the pagans are.
Mhm.
Like they were trying to become pagans, but
They're
they
the
had their
Megans.
own- Megans. Yo, oh my God, they would have beat my fucking ass, but that would have been worth catching some hands for. What'd you say? You want to be the Megans? Yeah, whatever you say, Megan.
Mike, there was this old guy on my block who hated me. Who like my neighbor had a basketball net, so I'd go up and like try to play basketball, try to exercise, back in the day. And this old guy would come out of his house and just yell at me because like he lived across from the basketball net, so he was annoyed by all the ball bouncing.
Okay, he wasn't trying to protect the neighbor's net.
No, he was like, and then literally he would go out to his car and be like, "I'm gonna hit you with my car," and he would say
Whoa.
this like all the time, and he was serious. And I remember one time, this is after we just saw like Rocky 5, like he
Big
said-
Rocky night for you.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, notice my all gray attire. Going for a run after this. What do you call it? He says the same thing. Like, you stop playing basketball. I'm like, they said I can play, and he's like, I'm getting in my car and I'm going to hit you. And then I remember my the neighbor's kid, who was like maybe like 8-9 years older than me, comes walking out of the back. This is just after we saw Rocky 5. He goes, "Hey, you say you're going to knock him down. Why don't you try to knock me down?" And I was like, "This guy's my hero."
He's like, he said you heard he's going to use a car, right?
yeah. And literally from that point again, the guy just never talked to me, and then he died. So
Good.
yeah,
Well, I hope that guy's fucking still dead.
Jake, do you remember his name?
Nick. That's all I remember.
You don't
Yeah.
remember his last name? Could
I
you
can't-
find it out?
I could. Yeah, I could probably find out.
What, are you going to piss on his fucking grave? What's
No,
your deal?
we're all going to go dribble basketballs on his tombstone.
Hey, feed me the rock.
Jake, was it? Did he die of natural causes or killer crossover?
There's a whole Edwin mixtape.
Skip to my Lou came through.
All right, boys. Fun as usual.
Yeah, very fun.
Cal Donjala, Jake Matera, Danny Dubs. Thank you guys. This was a ton of fun.
Thank you,
And-
Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Buddy.
Always fun. Love doing this every week. And thank you guys for supporting us. It means a lot to us. And man, I just love doing this shit every week, man. It gets my, I don't know if I told you this, but it gets my pee hard being able to make these every
I'm
week with you
glad
guys.
you're coming hard, brother.
Dude, I come like somebody let a fire hose loose.
After 2 hours of soft cum talk, finally glad to see one of our boys come hard.
Dude, I come so hard the firemen are chasing it.
I don't know what
So,
the fuck
just know
that
that.
means.
Yeah.
It's like a hose that got loose.
All right. I like that.
So just know that all of you listening and all of you watching, you're responsible for me coming so hard. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. All right, guys. See you
Thanks,
next week.
guys.